Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about something that might sound simple, but is actually super powerful: obedience. And you know what? We're going to find out that it's all about the power of listening. I bet you have. We've all been told that, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about why listening carefully is such a big deal? Well, let's find out together. So let's break it down. What exactly is obedience? It's a word we hear all the time, but really, it's about how listening can become your very own superpower. Pretty cool, huh? At its heart, obedience is actually pretty simple. It's just listening carefully and then doing what your parents or teachers have asked you to do. Whether you're at home or at school, it all starts with paying attention. It sounds easy, but trust me, it's a skill that helps you with everything else. So, why does this matter so much? Well, first off, it helps you stay safe, like when you're told to look both ways before crossing the street. It also helps you be disciplined so you can finish your work or get better at sports. And of course, it helps you focus so you can soak up all the amazing new things you're learning. The best way to understand this is with a story. So let's meet a boy named Raju. He's a great example of someone who really figured out the power of listening. So here he is. This is Raju. And the most important thing to know about him is that he absolutely loves to learn. He's curious and excited, which is just the best way to be when you're at school. And every great learner usually has a great teacher. For Raju, that's Miss Sarita. And notice how she's described. She's kind, and she makes learning really fun with stories and games. That kind of thing makes you want to listen, doesn't it? And here's the key advice she gives her class. It's so simple and so powerful. She connects listening directly to the goal that Raju already has, which is to be a good learner. It's not just a rule, it's a helpful tip. And Raju gets it right away. He doesn't just hear her words, he puts them into action. When it's quiet time, he helps keep things calm. When it's time to clean up, he jumps in to help. He's actively practicing what Miss Sarita taught him. Okay, let's move on and see what happens next. Because, learning a lesson in the classroom is one thing, but using it out in the world, when you have to make a choice all by yourself, well, that's the real test. So here's what happens. School's out, and his friends are all saying, "Come on, let's go play right now." That's a super tempting offer for any kid, a moment where it would be so easy to just forget everything else. This lays out his choice perfectly. On one hand, he could just run off and play right away. On the other hand, he could remember what he's been taught. So what do you think he's going to do? And here's his answer. Raju not only remembers Miss Sarita's advice, but he actually understands why it's good advice. He explains to his friends that if they eat first, they'll have more energy to play even better. See? He's not just following a rule, he's making a smart choice. And the result is awesome. Because he keeps making these small, smart choices, Raju becomes known as a really good listener. And his teacher, Miss Sarita, is super proud of him. That's the positive outcome of his choice to listen. So we've seen how Raju made some great choices. Now it's your turn. Let's think through a few situations and see what you would do. Okay, first question. Imagine your friend isn't doing their homework on time. What's the right advice? Should they do it when it's due or just whenever? Yeah, the best choice is to do it on time, right? That's all part of being disciplined. All right, next one. To be a great learner in class, what's the most important thing to do? This one's easy. It goes right back to our main idea. Always listen carefully. How about getting dressed for school? Wearing your uniform is another way to show you're part of the team and you respect the rules. So, yep, coming in your proper uniform is the right choice. And last one for this part, how should you treat other people? Part of listening to the rules is about being kind and making sure everyone is safe. So, not fighting is definitely the right choice. It makes school a happy place for everybody. All right, you guys are doing great. For our last section, let's tackle a slightly trickier situation. This one really makes you think because it's about making a good choice when a teacher isn't even there to watch. Think about this one. You know the rule is to eat inside the classroom, but your teacher is gone, and some of your friends start breaking that rule. What do? Do you follow them, or do you stick to the instructions you were given? And this gets to the most important idea of all. You see, true obedience isn't just about following the rules when someone is looking over your shoulder. So, what's the big takeaway? Listening and following instructions isn't really about pleasing your parents or teachers. It's about learning how to make smart, safe, and disciplined choices for yourself. And that, right there, is the real power of listening.